So what are we doing on the internets at 9:30 at night?
I know, and we're live.
We're live, and
it's always scary going live.
Oh,
because you just never know what happens.
And typically when we go live, we've talked about
what we're gonna do
and
the topic,
and we've kind of run through our little outline.
Yeah.
And we have a theme or an idea we want people to get from it. But tonight, we just have been having conversations for this entire week, really. Like it started yesterday.
Yeah, it did.
And the talk didn't stop. So we were like, you know what? Let's take this talk online.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's scary. Because
I don't know what they're going to talk about.
We don't know where this is going to
come out real raw and uncensored. Because we look a mess, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Like both of us.
Like the end of the day. What are we talking about?
It's a great question.
We're about to tell you in just a second. We do need to make a disclaimer that y'all saw the hashtag Facebook After Dark. It means put the kids to bed. They don't need to be hearing what we're about to say. So we're gonna talk. Because we need to talk. We ain't talked. We ain't really talk. Like we talk, but we ain't talk. So what is it? The 3 S's is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Submission.
Mm-hmm.
Stress. Where you from? SKRE. And the last one, sex. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about it. So y'all can invite some folk in if y'all want to. We can have us a good time. I'd love for y'all to ask some questions. Okay, yeah. Hey, put them down. Put them down because we got to talk about it. Because I think in marriage, submission gets a bad rap.
Oh, it does. It does. But people use it the wrong way, and I don't think they really know the true definition.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it gets turned into something it's not. And I can easily see how that could happen because
like like in marriage you hear
submit,
slave.
Yeah.
And
that's how some men use it in marriage as a slave. It's a you do as I say, woman.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
And so we were just having an honest conversation about submission.
Yeah.
And so you want a role play or you want me to ask it? What you want me to do?
What is this role play thing?
No, not like that.
What are we doing right now?
Hold on, we can do that.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what are we doing?
That's the last
what are we
topic
doing?
that we're gonna get to momentarily.
I can't even do this.
But no, I'm not talking about that role play. I'm talking about just how you asked me that question.
Oh, the submission question?
Yeah.
I don't know what did I forgot. How did I ask it?
So that means that I'm gonna go with it. So
yeah, because I don't know.
Actually, we're sitting outside. We're rocking on the swing. It was nice and warm yesterday.
It was really pretty.
We're out rocking on the swing, and Ashley says, "Babe, did I do you right?
Go ahead. Continue,
babe. Do I submit?"
Oh, I did. Y'all asked him if I'm good at submission.
And so, y'all want to hear my answer. I'm going to tell y'all my answer. So I said, babe, I believe in your heart.
Why is he laughing?
In your heart, I believe that my wife is naturally submissive. Like
in my heart.
In her heart.
That mean, y'all? That mean he was about to say no.
In her heart. She's submissive.
He was about to say no. Honey.
No. I genuinely wanted to start from the inside out because I know deep down at your core, you are not trying to fight. You're not trying to be combative. You're not trying to be rebellious. You're not trying to naturally do your own thing.
Right. However,
she don't listen to me worth the darn.
Let me clarify that. I do not, I'm not a robot, right? Like I'm not that woman that's just like, oh, whatever he says, I'm gonna do. I ain't that chick.
Deep down inside, I'm just gonna be honest. I want her to put some respect on my name. Every time I talk, I want some respect on my name. I want to know when I talk, hear King Kong roar. No. And that is not in real life at all. Because in our household, we have created an environment where we both are two individuals who love God and go to Ephesians 5:21 and not start the scripture at Ephesians 5:22. Most people start the submission talk at Ephesians 5:22, where it says,
and I will say,
woman submit.
It's been taught really wrong in our churches. It really has, and I think from the roles that we used to play, gender roles back in the day, they have kind of come up to now, but life has changed, y'all. We in the 21st century, like things have totally changed.
So when I learned marriage at first, it was Ephesians 5:22. Wives submit. I didn't hear about Ephesians 5:21 until I read it one day, and it said, "Wait a minute, submitting one to another." Oh,
that's right.
So submission is not just a her thing.
No,
it's a us thing.
It is.
And submission doesn't mean that you're going to do what I say because I'm the man. Hear me roar. I said it. That's it. No more conversation.
No, that ain't happened. That's a robot, y'all. And then I was telling him, I was like, for submission, if it's like a do as I say kind of thing toward the woman, then I don't feel like I'm a wife. I feel like I'm your daughter at that point. Like I'm a child. Like you're talking to me to tell me to obey everything you say. If the Lord wanted us to just do that, just blindly do that, he wouldn't have given us a brain.
That's true. and you have got to allow your wife to be a human. Yes. She is a woman. She is a person.
She's a thinking, breathing being who has ideas and creativity and know-how. Yes.
And so when it comes to submission, when I hear something, I submit it. Again, submitting one to another. When I hear something, I submit it to her and have her check on her Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. And she is a praying woman. That's one thing that I am so grateful for. If you are unmarried and on this Facebook After Dark Talk, get you somebody that can pray, like for real. Don't like you need somebody to pray. So I trust that she prays. Now, what happens when I submit something to you?
Right.
And then you don't see things the way I do.
That happens.
I mean, that happens more times than it doesn't.
That happens a lot.
Because we're two separate people.
We are. Absolutely.
We're two separate people.
And here's my say on that. I would say we may not always agree, right? But I need you to hear my point.
Yes.
I need you to hear me and what I'm saying, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, and I need you to take it into consideration before you make a final decision.
That's right.
So
submit
as a woman
to the information that you're sharing.
Yes, I need you to hear me.
Hear you.
Not just make a decision and this is what we're doing. Yep. No, that don't work like that.
And so there are times where I'll submit something to her, and then she'll say, "Oh, I ain't see that." Oh, nah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. So
we're gonna tell on ourselves.
Yeah, we are. But it was a real issue because my wife sees things before I do. I'm just gonna be honest.
Sometimes.
But so that means sometimes I'm right.
Yeah.
And say it louder. We got people here and say it louder.
You're right. Sometimes. Not all the time.
Hey, that was a win. That was a battle we won right there. So I remember that there was a major decision that I had to make for our family. Oh, It was like consecutive. Like I was Mr. Unpopular for a season in our household. And so the first decision that I had to make, I had to pray about. And I knew that she did not want to be in agreement with what the decision that she knew I had to make.
I wasn't liking it.
She was not liking it at all.
I wasn't liking it.
And so I told her, I said, "Babe, this is what I believe the Lord is saying for us to do. This is the direction that we're supposed to go." This is about 5 or so years ago. Mm-hmm. And she then said to me, "No." And I'm like, "But I know that I've heard from the Lord, and you're telling me, I ain't hear that."
Yeah.
So what I had to do is say, "Okay, you and I both, we don't agree.
Right.
Let's take some time to pray and then reconvene on that topic."
Mm-hmm. That's what we did.
We prayed.
We still didn't agree.
We didn't agree. But you know, I want to hear your side. What helped you, Mrs. Ashley Thomas? What helped you
No, we didn't agree. I still didn't like his point. However, I did pray about it.
Okay.
And the Lord gave me peace about what to do. So even though I wasn't totally like, I was like, okay, Lord, you're going to give me peace. He did give me peace. And I knew, okay, even if he jacks up, the Lord going to take care of me.
Yeah.
So that was, I was there. I was right. I was with God at that point. I wasn't with you. I was with God. And so
period. And that's what I want her to be. I want her to be with God. And so it doesn't have to be, well, you're not doing what I'm saying, or you're bucking what I'm trying to share, what I'm trying to do. And that wasn't the case. She's really what our wives are searching for is peace.
Yeah.
Like that is their biggest need. They want to feel secure. They want to feel stable. So she wants peace. So what I brought to her was definitely not peaceful, because she knew the environment, she knew the people, she knew the outcomes. She knew that was not going to be pleasant. However, when you submit to the plan of God, sometimes there are seasons in your life that aren't pleasant. And sometimes there's seasons in your life that you don't necessarily enjoy. But you have to both be willing to submit to the plan of God, not so much. Again, the scripture in Ephesians 5:21 didn't say just submit to each other. It said submit to each other as to the Lord, in the fear of the Lord. So we're honoring the Lord. But right after that, so it was like, y'all, I took a series of L's in the immediate. I mean, it was the first time in marriage where I had to be the unpopular one. And I'm always trying to make my wife smile. That is what I like doing. It's a whole lot more beneficial that way.
Anyway.
But there was another. We got some other things.
Yeah,
I feel like submission translates to understanding for the modern day translation. Yes, submission requires understanding. That's so true. Very safe. Amen. Communication is key. Yes. Communication. Love you guys. Oh, Jamila, thank you so much. Preaching glory. Okay, perfect.
Okay, now we're good. We're caught up.
So there was another season where there was another major decision that we had to make, and it was about our living arrangement. And so one thing about my wife and I, we are naturally risk adverse, meaning we don't just take uncalculated risk. We
That's not always true. I think that depends on the guy. And I don't know, y'all could chime in on that. I feel like some guys are more adaptable to change, or more.
Well, I'm saying for us, what works for us.
Talking about me and you,
right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the mills.
Oh no, I can't.
Okay.
Oh no, I can't.
Okay,
I can't speak for all men.
So no, we are not risk averse. No, you're right.
Yeah, we're not risk averse, and so we had stayed in a place where we could not. We had maxed out our living arrangement. I mean, it was crazy, and so as a wife should expect, she wanted some progress in her living arrangement. After about 4 years of marriage, it was like, hey, trust me.
It was like it was time.
It's time. I mean, and we did our due diligence. We were in a very good place. And so my wife, she is a researcher. Let me tell you, there is no way I could cheat, y'all. I just want to go on record. There is no way I could cheat. This woman research. She researches. If it needs to be researched, she gonna research.
But that's really good. I need to be, we balance each other out.
We do, because I'm like, I pray and let's go. So she scoured all these properties in like a 40-mile radius. And after she scoured property, she found the best one in the price range that we were willing to spend for a home. And so it was in the area that we wanted to be in. It was it was just everything that we thought we wanted.
Right. Yeah.
And so we did a visit, and we were actually about to start the process of signing all the documents, signing all the paperwork. We were about to move. Everything was lined up. And one thing that I had forgot to do, which I'm telling myself, I did not pray. And so we're getting ready to sit down at the table to sign the paperwork. And I go to the Lord and pray. And the Lord says, no.
Yeah.
That is not the house for you.
I was sad.
Oh.
No, sad wasn't where. I think I was upset.
Oh, she was so not only did I make a major decision a couple months prior, but now I had to make.
Now you're telling me no?
Now I'm telling her no again for something else.
Wasn't looking good, y'all. Wasn't looking good.
And he had said women research, they're the best to take.
That's so true.
Man, look, let me tell you. And I remember telling her that even though she was upset, she again had peace.
I did. So yeah, when you first told me that, it wasn't going over well. However, after sitting on it for a couple days, which it's always good to not make impulsive decisions anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was making an impulsive decision because I was so desperate, y'all. I was so desperate to get out of the current circumstance I was in. I was like, look, I'll take anything at this point. But after sitting on it for a couple days, I was like, you know, he was right. And it wasn't, and it was like at the top of
Wait a minute, you said I was what?
Don't
we got a microphone right here. I want you to just speak
See,
into
you
it.
on live.
Speak into it.
You trying to be
speaking to it. There's a microphone right here. Y'all hear this rich quality?
He need help. Anyway. But yeah. So after a couple days, I did come to you and I was like, yeah, you're right. Let's move on. That wasn't God's best.
No, it wasn't. And so a year later, we found out the reason why. So,
yeah, but it didn't feel good at the time.
We'll close out with submission with this. Submission comes before understanding.
It does.
Submission comes before our natural mind can understand why we're submitting. You're not so much going for understanding as you're going for peace. And that only comes from the Lord. And that's why we're submitting to him.
Yeah.
So the next S, stress.
Stress.
Oh, stress
is real
in marriage. Look,
it's real.
We got to deal with the stress. Stress will drive.
Stress affects everything.
It affects how we talk to each other.
Yes, it does.
It affects.
Honestly, y'all, and probably one of the biggest things I know for him, it affects our sex life.
Shout hallelujah.
Yeah.
Shout it.
I'm going to be real. We're uncensored. So
yeah, we uncensored. We can talk about sex.
I'm gonna be real.
Sex.
It does.
It affects sex life.
And typically for me, I'm the stressor. So I will worry about everything. Like if I have something on my agenda, my mind is on it until it's completed. Like that's just kind of how I function. But I realized that in doing that, I sometimes neglect his needs. and that's real. Yeah. So it's always that working together, I think, to help me de-stress so that we both can win.
So how can the real question I think in marriage is how can we help each other to de-stress?
Yeah, it depends on what the situation is, I think, but communication is always good. Like I think either us talking about it will go a long way for women.
Yeah.
You know,
you need to talk it out.
We need to talk about it. We need to talk about how we feel. We need to vent what's going on.
Again, we have a marriage
whether
talk.
Whether it's financial, whether it's
talk about it
with your children. I mean, whatever. You know, you
like
need
how can I help you to de-stress?
Yeah, you need to be able to talk about it. Talk about all the stuff. And it's so funny because in stressing, so I think men and women stress sometimes a little different. And this is not a stereotype, a stereo blanket type thing I'm trying to make, but for our family, I know in particular.
Okay, talk about it.
Yes, so Vince, he de-stresses sometimes through having sex.
Oh, not sometimes. All the time.
Y'all, when I'm stressed out, I'm not trying to have no sex.
At all.
I'm like, literally, I'm like, how do you even think about that? So then there's like, this.
That's the only way I know how.
There's this clash that happens.
Yep, where that's all I'm thinking about. And that's not what she's thinking about. And so now we're in the place of marriage where marriage pulls the best out of us. I heard a quote that I thought was so powerful. Marriage is not designed to make you more happy. Marriage is designed to make you more holy. And so marriage is not about, can you make me happy? Can I make you happy? But the issue at hand is, what can I do to help you? That's marriage is a selfless endeavor. It is extremely, I mean, a healthy marriage is where two people are willing to be selfless in their endeavor to help and serve their spouse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, you know, right now, one of Ashley's major stressors, believe it or not, is not church. So
No, church is fun.
Church doesn't stress us out.
No.
It's her master's program. Yes. And I'm telling you,
all these papers, Jesus.
So my wife, this is amazing. This is amazing. I worked for somebody full time.
You did.
I went to school full time. It wasn't no stress. It was like it'll either get done or it won't get done. But I know one thing, the sun will rise and fall again. That's it. My wife is completely different in her schooling and how she takes care of her tasks.
Right.
If her teacher says that we have an assignment due next week, in that moment, she is thinking about that assignment that has to be done next week.
And I'm not going to stop thinking about it until it's done.
And she is all the way thinking about, what do I need to do? What do I need to get prepared? How do I need to research? So I realized early on when I was trying to get, because, all right, so this is Facebook After Dark. This is Uncensored.
No, what you about to say?
I'm about to talk about when I'm trying to fill up on you and you stressed.
Oh, it don't happen.
Look, so in sex, husbands do not want a lifeless partner that is not actively engaged in making this one of the funnest experiences that we have had. That, like, we would like a partner who is equally as engaged and possibly, if not a little more freakier than we are. That is like our dream. Like, we have this fantasy that we want to. When she's stressed, none of that.
Working. Yeah.
None of that. And so I remember there was one time, and now mind you, I have a very, very, very good wife who understands around every 72 hours or so. So we've got a chart, because for whatever reason, maybe I'm just alone. I don't know. But I really, really, really am attracted. No, I am attracted.
Attractive.
Yes, but I am attracted. I am like lustfully attracted to my wife. Like, I think about her when I'm not around her in a very sexual way. Like, she is what did we say uncensored?
I think that's a good thing.
Yes, it is.
And that's a wonderful thing. However, I just am amazed how it's tame.
It's kerosene. It's
ongoing.
It's kerosene to a forest fire. And that's kind of the way I like it. I like dreaming about my wife in a very nasty. I mean, I do. You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen.
That's pretty good
in my life. So I genuinely. I'm
saying that's really good, but then I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah. So
because this is.
I mean, I just do. I mean, it's just no secret. I just put it out here in front of all my friends on Facebook, and they're not gonna tell nobody. Yeah, they're not gonna tell nobody. Online. I am online, live. Probably somebody got their children up, probably like, oh, mommy, what are you talking about? So, so when I'm in, because she knows that I have this strong desire, she's like, I call it duty booty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. One of our mentors.
Duty booty.
He used to text me used to text me randomly. Booty. Like, are you giving what did he text me? Y'all, it was like something so vulgar and ratchet.
We got.
He'd be like, are you doing duty booty? Are you giving duty booty or something? I was like, what is that?
Get you some mentors. That doesn't even sound. Get you some mentors in your life. Some pastors, somebody in your life that are gonna ask you and your spouse, are y'all having sex and are y'all enjoying it?
And I don't mind that question.
I don't mind it either.
It was duty booty, y'all. That don't sound like something you would just hop in and be like, yeah. I don't know.
Duty booty.
You should have made it sound a little bit more presentable.
Juicy booty. It's still booty. So
it wasn't sounding good.
However, I felt like Tyrone Bigum's like, however, I gotta get it. I just gotta get it.
Oh my gosh.
So I realized that it was not like she was trying, but her mind was just overwhelmed.
It was everywhere. My mind was everywhere. And I think for ladies, and I can't speak for every lady, but for the majority of us, we're really emotionally inclined. And so if we're not there, like mentally and emotionally,
it ain't.
Then I don't know. I don't know what's really happening there.
It ain't.
So we need to be kind of involved. But when we're stressed, it's just not. And that could be like stressed over bills. That could be just fight. I mean, whatever
it is. So
family members.
I discovered something. She won't stress over a paper if she don't have one. So what I said was, let me help you research. Yeah. Let me, like, what do I need to do to help you? So I like, we gotta get some index cards. We gotta, whatever we gotta do. If I gotta I will type for sex. Like I promise, like whatever I have to do, I'm gonna make sure it gets done so that she doesn't stress. And so I'm I guess talking to the husbands tonight. What is your wife's biggest stressor? And if you want to help yourself, find that out and find what ways you can help that and make that a priority, because when you help her, you are helping yourself. So anything else you want to add about stress?
I don't know. I think we're done. Well, I know in our marriage Zoom call we had with
Gloria, sex is medicine.
Oh no.
Gosh. Oh yes, that's right. Sexual healing.
Oh my gosh. So we were talking about it in our marriage Zoom call, and one of the questions that was asked was, what are the two distractions that you all have in your marriage? And she defined distractions as anything that takes you away from your spouse, and that could include children.
Yeah.
So she was just like, what are your two biggest distractions? And then I think you wrote your answers. I wrote my answers. We compared them. That really helped us, I think, to compare like what was of concern to each spouse.
Yeah.
You know, because then I'm able, because sometimes, I don't know, you might not have even known that was a concern for me until I, let you know. So that was a really good exercise. So if you're a married couple, write down your two biggest distractions of what keeps you from each other. Yep. And like write them separate and then like bring them back together.
And then see like, compare. Oh wow, I didn't know you felt that way. And then
for some of you it might be the same answers. Like you just know right off the back what it is. Yeah. But for others, it may be like, I didn't even know that was a big deal to you.
That's good. That's good. Now finally, we want to talk about sex.
I thought we were talking about sex.
No, I was talking about stress. I ain't talking about sex yet.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
One of my favorite topics. We need to talk about sex in church. We gotta start talking about sex in church. Like,
I feel like you hear about sex all the time.
Who hear about? Don't do it. Don't do it. Put your thing in your pants. Keep your legs shut. Like nobody talks about.
Yeah, but I mean, our culture is inundated with it, y'all. Don't y'all agree? All of the music that's out there.
You're not hearing like sex. Let's just talk about it. But I will. Okay, so again, this is not all men. So I'm not speaking for all men. I'm speaking for barriers that I had to overcome in my own marriage.
Okay.
The biggest issue for me is romance. Being a romantic. My wife, it got so bad to the point where she would be at different stores and there would be a beautiful bouquet of flowers and she would say, "Oh,
so nice.
Look at these bouquet of flowers. Wouldn't it be so nice if I could get a bouquet of flowers?" And I
was not hinting. I was like blatantly almost saying.
And I wasn't catching her hints, her blatant hints. I was like, "Oh yeah, that would be nice if you had that." Now let's and so I realized that
I think we redefined what romance was, because y'all, his definition was just horrible. So yes, babe.
Horrible.
So we were like,
explain yourself.
He was like, so what's your definition of romance? No, I think I asked you first.
Yes. You want me to say it?
You can.
Touching on your butt. That was my definition of romance.
That was his definition of romance.
I had that good romantic grip.
Just groping. Just completely like.
I don't consider that groping. I consider that holding.
That was groping.
Holding you in my arms.
So when we talked about it.
I'm holding you in my arms.
I can't even deal with you.
All of you.
Yeah. When we talked about it though.
Let her breast satisfy you at all times.
It was not. Well, to me, romance is non-sexual affection.
Yeah. No, but seriously, that is the truth.
We had to get our definitions right.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm describing, like, I kid y'all not. And so this came as a result of, what was that, marriage counseling in 2016. So let me go on record and tell you all that my wife and I go to marriage counseling every year. And
it's so healthy.
Every year. We go to marriage counseling every year. Because it's in our marriage is very important to us. Out of everything that I do, out of everything that God has graced us with, our marriage is the most important aspect out of it all. It does, and the reason for that is you don't know when tests, trials, tough times are going to hit your marriage. So what you need to do is you need to be pouring into that. And I remember making it was two defining moments in the foundation of our marriage. Number one, being a person that believed that I was called to full-time ministry. I grew up in churches where wives
oh my gosh, wives were dogged out, y'all. Wives were just like arm candy. And they didn't have much say
at all. And so I made a decision early on that I was going to protect my wife from the ugly side of ministry, where in essence the wife kind of is suppressed.
There are so many suppressed wives.
While the husband is on his trek to greatness before he gets fired or let go. And that was just the routine and the machine of ministry that I had seen. So I said, I've got to keep my wife protected from sometimes the grind of full-time ministry. But the second defining moment, believe it or not, it came in 2014. I was leaving a wedding, and after officiating a wedding, and for the first time in my marriage, so my wife and I got married in 2010, 2014, for the first time, I told my wife, I said, I love you more than ministry.
Whew, y'all, that was huge.
I was quivering.
That was so huge.
I had never said that out loud.
Yeah.
And it was in that moment that the attention came to take heed to the condition of your marriage. Yes. So we're in marriage counseling. We made it a point that every year, my wife and I, we are going to go to marriage counseling.
Yeah.
There's no, I want us to get rid of the stigma of having an outside party looking into your marriage and listening to you before the engine falls out. Now, if the engine falls out, then y'all really need to go in and figure out what's going on so that we can rebuild and make sure that we don't, have the engine fall out again.
Right.
But in marriage counseling, that is when they asked me the exact question, because I felt like our sex life was becoming routine. It was same old.
Well, and to give you a little bit of background, he was a workaholic, has always been, I think, since I met you. He just worked. His work ethic is like ridiculous. And he's always working, which I like that, right? Women like men that, work and take care of their family, want to provide. I love all that. However, like, work can't come before family. Mm-hmm. And so it was a problem when that was happening. And
a workaholic that I was like, I can do one more. I can help this. I can make this better. I can give my best to this. I can, if I could just do one more.
And so he's coming home at like ridiculous hours of the night when, sometimes it's okay to do that, right? Yeah, like sometimes you just work.
But that's the exception. It's not the norm for me.
Right, but every single night. Norm. Mm-hmm. That's not good. So we talked about that. And I think when you heard my heart on just coming home late, how we could do better of communicating. And then the thing was, y'all, he was coming home late. I felt disrespected, so now I was gonna disrespect him. It was real petty, y'all, but we did it. And then I would be too tired. I ain't having nobody sex.
Cause she's all emotionally worked up, like, oh, so you ain't gonna come home on time. Oh, okay. Oh, is that what we're doing? Sleep with your doggone self. Sleep with your doggone self.
No, listen. I was like, it was almost to the point where, okay, well, let work then satisfy.
Oh yeah, like since you like staying at work, go sleep with your work. Go sleep with your work then.
It was real bad. We were real petty, so we could tell, telling ourselves, but it was true. Yeah. But that's the thing. Like, if you don't put your family first, y'all ain't nothing gonna be in balance if you don't get that balance. Like nothing.
Right.
Seriously.
Right. Make sure that you're centered. So, going to marriage counseling helped us to define what romance was, and so understanding that my wife needs non-sexual contact and affection. Yeah. That's not related.
That's not groping.
Yeah, not groping.
Not groping.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, we learned that. I think we got on the same page.
We did. Yeah. And so we understood that it's important to for us. Now, some people don't like doing this. Some people don't like setting this down. But my wife and I, we have a family meeting, and I wish I could show y'all my calendar, but I got too much sensitive information on it. But my wife and I figured out that there were certain times a week that we gonna call that married time, and so on my calendar.
And so feel no shame if you have to schedule sex. So if you are super busy couples, both parties work, whatever. Listen, there are some seasons we had to do. Like we had to schedule it just to make sure it happened.
Back when I actually worked for someone else, Friday night was sex night. That was sex night.
It would ping on both of our phones.
That's right. And I'm like, I got to get home. I'm sorry, I got me a lady who's waiting for me at home. Hey, have a good day, sir. I'll see you later. And we knew that it was important to keep those times of intimacy. So for me, it meant that I was making sure that my conversation was pleasant, that things were taken care of, that I was present in the moment. And what that did was it created a habit to have what then I call spontaneous sex nights, which means that ain't on nobody's calendar, but ain't nobody turning down nothing but they collar. And you're making an opportunity for to be together with each other.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've heard some couples say they don't necessarily like the scheduled sex.
Some don't.
Yeah, because it's too
rigid.
But I think even in that, you can still make it spontaneous. That's so right. I just think it's up to the couple.
It creates a level of expectancy. So I got you need to have a playlist of music. Especially, again, we're having marriage talk tonight.
Marriage talk.
You need to have a playlist of music that gets your mind.
Please don't put on no Kirk Franklin
or no
put on no Donnie Hill song. No Hill. Oh my gosh.
No, Donnie McClurkin. No.
Yeah, and but I don't know. So I heard about, and I don't know if y'all have bought their stuff, but I heard Tamela Mann and David Mann have a CD out. I don't know. I haven't heard it, but I hope they're not talking about scriptures and stuff. I don't think they would be.
I can't see her past "Take Me to the King." I don't want to go to nobody's king. I want to go to.
So I don't know. So if y'all have heard it or know about it,
king size mattress.
Let us know.
That's what I want to go. Now, because we ain't gonna leave this on Facebook. We might put this on our YouTube channel, but I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Can y'all keep a secret? So hey
Marquise.
TD Jakes.
Yeah, he got one too. Oh my gosh,
it's called Sacred Love Song.
He got a sex. What is it? A sexy? Well, I don't know if it's not. It's a romantic CD or something.
It's so uncomfortable. I just want to say that right now. The first time I heard. I think it was like a pillow talk
He's
song.
Like talking or something. I don't know.
I mean, the CD sound like this.
It didn't.
And I touched her hand. Like I can't. It
was a little uncomfortable. I ain't gonna lie. It was a little uncomfortable.
But you need you a playlist
good playlist
that gets you going and just get your mind thinking about what's about to go down.
That's true.
And y'all need to talk.
Yeah.
Find out what each other likes. What I mean, we only been married a couple days, like 9 years. So
9 years.
It's not long compared to other couples.
Oh, D Haddon, okay.
Had a banger. Again. I anybody who's a Christian cannot talk to me like, no, you didn't. I'm in worship now. It's too late. It's too late.
I'm not even thinking about
it's too
that.
late.
Yeah.
No, you can't switch on me. And now you got, you're talking about the Lord's call to booty call. You can't. Nope. Nope. Not
anyway.
I can't. y'all need to talk. Y'all need to talk. You need to be honest. Be mindful. Different changes in the body, different changes in the libido, your sex drive. Men, if I could talk to you all just for a brief moment, your sex drive is a lot like a pizza, it's like a pie. We said we're gonna be on 10 minutes. It's been 40 minutes.
Oh, we're so sorry.
Lord have mercy.
Keep talking.
Jeez.
We gotta wrap this up. Okay. You were saying it's like the pie.
Yeah,
it's like
men's sex drive is a lot like a pie, and it's very strong. It is intense. Your sex drive
strong pie.
It's strong. That sounded real dirty.
That's what you said.
You're dirty.
That's what he said.
You're just nasty.
I'm sorry. Keep going. You have a strong pie.
Oh my goodness. I have virgin ears.
Yo, isn't that not what he said?
I'm chaste. I'm holy. Anyway,
it's a pie.
Strong sex drive. No. So, when you focus all of your attention in one direction, and it's not divided up with pornographic images, it's not divided by illicit images on social media, because have y'all noticed that it's easy to find porn nowadays? Do y'all remember when for those of y'all over 30, when we were but remember we were growing up and it was hard to find some, like you had to look through the blurry lines on the unpaid for channel to know what they were doing back in at least. And then before that, people had a magazine that they passed around. Now it's just like ridiculous. You just scrolling. You just scrolling on your timeline, and all you're doing is just seeing cheeks, just clapping, just somebody just for no reason, just cheeks, just all.
I can't do with you, but you liable to see anything on these social media platforms. It's crazy out here. Anyway, okay.
But men,
I don't know what's happening.
I don't either. This is After Dark. We normally are more professional.
Oh my gosh.
But you have to focus your attention and focus it on your wife. That's very important. If you divide it up with illicit images, you subconsciously begin comparing her to things that aren't her, nor are they real.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very important that our eyes are laser focused. I'm telling you, on your wife. Now, wives, you got to show us something too. Like I
was guilty of that, y'all. When we got married, she
was covered up.
Yeah, I am that homebody, comfy in clothes, So I'll come home, put on a sweatshirt in a second, sweatshirt, sweats, and just be lounging with my house shoes, maybe a bonnet on my head, And that wasn't sexy for him. I didn't realize. I don't know. I was just trying to be comfortable, so it was something I had to work on.
Yeah, we need to see something.
Yeah,
I understand. It's like, oh my gosh, but my body doesn't look like it. We don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. It's okay. We don't care. We don't care. Just give that how it is. Just give it to us. It don't matter. Just let us see it. We just want to see it. We just want to touch it.
So I had to get better. So then just
let me see it.
We made a compromise on our sleepwear.
That's right. So she used to, again, sweatshirt and flannel. She looked like Tim the Two-Man Taylor in the bed.
So what we had to do was, I told him, okay, I've got to wear sleepwear. Like I have to wear something. I
didn't understand that. I like having Garden of Eden illustrative sermon night.
I'll just tell y'all what. So we compromised.
That's right.
It was something I liked, and it was something that he liked.
So we found some see-through flannel.
That's what it was. It wasn't flat. It was see-through something.
It was something.
But it was enough nice. That we both were like, we're good.
Nice. It was nice. It was nice. I could see it.
We're probably saying TMI. But the whole point of this is
After Dark. We told them it was going to be uncensored.
The whole point of this was to say that.
Like if you clicked on an uncensored video, you knew what you were getting. You knew what you were getting. Come on, Camille. Come mountaintops. They said, Camille said, we have a no clothing rule. Clothing is, come on, hallelujah. Come on now, Camille. That's right. Gotta drop that. You gotta just withholding nothing. The word says it. Withholding nothing.
No, I cannot sleep like that. But you know what?
You got to.
We found a way.
Come on, Miss Cindy. Come on.
We found a way to make it both work.
That's right.
Where I'm happy and he's happy.
Hey,
so we're like, okay, we're good.
Come on. I think that is absolutely enough. That's
enough.
We have given y'all a whole.
We have got to take this video down.
Yeah, this is just a. You know what? We will put this on YouTube. We can't keep this on Facebook because the worst thing about all this is that our parents get online and they watch us live.
Yes, they did. It's so awkward.
It's awkward because it's like with her parents, it's like.
And my mom's always like, amen to everything. Yeah, like, she says amen to everything.
I remember the first time my mom liked a status I made about sex, and it made me feel so dirty.
It's so uncomfortable.
So dirty.
But parents are on Facebook
They're on Facebook, and I can't, and it's like, I know they know I'm sleeping with their daughter. Like, I know they know. She just, she dropping it. All right, let's see. Scientists actually did a study about how you live longer and a lot happier unclothed. Come on.
Wow.
I'll be 185. See, marriage uncut. Oh, God.
You have just.
All right. Yep.
You just gave him more ammo to come out here and just be in his birthday suit. Oh, my gosh.
It's health.
Oh, my gosh.
It's health.
Okay.
It's healthy.
Okay, health.
But thank y'all. Y'all have been some troopers tonight.
Yes, y'all have. Like, this is a long video.
I don't know.
For it to be this long.
Yeah, we just said, okay, baby, we're gonna do 10 minutes. We're gonna do 10 minutes on some authentic conversation.
Yeah.
And 50 like
50 minutes later.
I don't even preach this long on Sunday.
No. That's so good though.
Well, I can't preach this long because Ashley in the back of the church going.
Listen, y'all, it's a real thing.
Yeah, 185. That's right. That's right. That's a lot of nakedness. There's a whole lot of nakedness going on around here. All right. I think that's everything.
Yeah,
so
everything.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all hung in there. Thank y'all for this authentic conversation. Yeah, Reverend Dr. James. Oh, Evelyn, happy anniversary to you all, or happy belated anniversary. Y'all celebrated 24 years.
Yes, that's beautiful.
Oh,
happy anniversary.
My heart. So that's it. So
that's it.
Until next time, we're just talking service to you both. You guys have always been. Oh, that's Reverend D.A. Taylor.
Is it?
That is it. Yes, Reverend D.A. Taylor. Oh, God bless y'all. So. Y'all have a wonderful night. And I'm gonna try to practice what I preach.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all have a good one.
Night, y'all.